Set it, the Wi-Fi is DoubleTree, and it's open, there's no password. So today, your point of origin, besides asking questions, which I hope you all do because we will reward you with candy, maybe t-shirts if it's a really good question. We don't have an origin.org site, like JBoss gets one and Fedora gets one. We'll get there someday, we'll grow up and have our own domain name. But right now, everything is on openshift.github.io. And you will see our lovely new logo showing up there. Doesn't the one with the green leaves that I like didn't win, thank God. And what you can see there is the first button here is Get OpenShift, and that allows you to download the VM. Please don't do that. I'm going to ask again with the Wi-Fi today. Otherwise, all of your Wi-Fi won't work, and you'll be hogging it from somebody else. But you can go and do that. And that, we promise, will always have the latest release of OpenShift Origin as a VM for you to download. Easy access. What I've tried to preach is a lot of you guys are cloud architects, cloud technologists, people that we want working on OpenShift Origin and doing that. But there's also a lot of people we want them to really have an easy on-ramp to start testing and playing with Origin. And so we felt very strongly, I did, and others on the team, that we needed to have this VM that was really easy. And that's what's on the USB sticks, and we'll share that. You can also try OpenShift Online. We highly encourage you to do that. So if you don't want to do that, that's basically running Origin under the hood, and that's what Adam will be talking about, running around doing things at OpenShift Online. And you can read the docs, because we know the last thing anybody ever does is RTM. But the docs are online, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're not awesome. They could be more awesome, but that's why this is a community. So we're going to need a little bit of help there. So what is OpenShift Origin? Everybody know what a platform as a service is? Yeah. Anybody not know? Okay. Well, basically, we're going to help you host your applications in the cloud on, whether it's on your desktop, on a VM, on bare metal, or on any cloud application. So there's I love that new logo, so I'm going to use a lot of it. But there's a lot packed into that PaaS, and the platform, and the containers and everything. And that, hopefully, by the end of the day, we'll walk you through, and you'll know about a lot of the frameworks that we support. We could put every logo up there, but it would just mash into one little thing. If you think about how many Python frameworks there are, I could have filled that box up in a second. Lots of languages, custom cartridges. There's something called quick starts. We'll talk a little bit about them at different times. And a lot of different pieces and parts here. So my goal here today is to steal the brains of the Red Hat engineers, make them vocalize their thoughts psychically or whatever way we can, and get you to talk about all of the different flavors of OpenShift. So, and just to make you all realize that, so this is what we call our commercial product, so that's my commercial for the day. I won't talk about anything more commercial than that. The online is there, but all of this stuff upstreams from us. So you, the community, you are the people that are building the underpinnings of what Red Hat is doing a commercial offering on, and other people will too. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So this is me. I like fish. I like to hug fish a lot. I did kill that fish, though, I have to admit, and ate him. He was very tasty. But my mission and our mission as a community is really to take and build the next generation of platform as a service. And I truly think that's what Origin is. Once you get through the deep dives, you understand the architecture that's being built out now. What's being built here within this community is really a unique platform as a service architecture that truly scales and that truly is easy to use and deploy. And once you've gotten a little taste of it, I'm sure you'll agree with me. We want to make sure that it runs on all the major platforms for clouds, and we want to always make sure that's freely available as an open source project. So to that end, that's really where we're going. So who's in the community? There's a lot of contributors in the room today. There's a lot of developers online and in other places that have been using it. A lot of cloud architects, DevOps, IT managers who are doing evaluations. There's a lot of evangelists in the room who talk like this. We talk loud. We don't need microphones. And there's a lot of stargazers. That's my new phrase too, because if you look on, everybody uses GitHub. I always like that. We want to turn those stargazers from gazers into people who are not users, but into actual contributors and users. So that's one of them. So we're lots of different kinds of developers too. So these are just a few of the folks that some of you might, I don't know if I got anybody in the room's picture up there, but there's lots of developers who are using this, and they're also giving back. So part of this is, if this is the open source ethos, you really need to do this. And so a few of the us are from Red Hat. We'd like more external contributions, and so you'll probably get ripped into that. This is our sneaky little Rocket Panda, who is, this is our sneaky little guy outside who's Ryan. You recognize him. A lot of you guys are online. There's Ryan in the back. He's a mustached South Park boy. A lot of us are online. So how many of you in the room have used OpenShift.com? See? So all of you need to give back. Okay, you're using it, it's free, it's wonderful. And you have, in a lot of ways, already given back quite a bit, because the feedback that we get and the stuff that goes on the forum is what informs us about the product direction, where the project has bugs, and all those bug fixes are things that feed into Origin. So you're really helping. I don't know how many of you just get up. We have our first publicly hosted, based on Origin PaaS, some Brazilian couple of guys are doing some really cool stuff down there, and so GetUp is a new little public PaaS that's going up there. And we have a few people in the audience, I won't call you out because you're probably all under NDAs, who are using Origin on-premise as a private PaaS, and we have actually some really, I think some of the OpenShift Enterprise customers are here in the room too, so I won't call you out. But that's, we've got lots of people building clouds, but really the basis of this whole conversation is we're all in this together, all right? The feedback we get from the online community, the feedback we get from the Origin core developers, all of this stuff is feeding into us and through Bugzilla. So where can you find the Origin community today? How many of you have been on IRC with us? OpenShift -dev, a few of them. So those, a lot of us are on there. We've had in the past 6 days, 216 different people. What I'm going to ask and implore you all to do as well is to hang out with us in Google. We're using a lot of Google tools, so if you go to the OpenShift Origin Community, we'll really help you get in touch with where we're going to host the next community days, where one of us is speaking next, the feedback polls on what new features and things are getting posted up here. We're using all kinds of fun tools like Trello, which I'm ready to learn, but there's lots of good stuff up there, and that's really our central point of communication for everything in the Origin community today. So, and you'll see lots of people contributing on GitHub already. So it's a good central location. When you're looking at GitHub, the Origin server is a good place to see that network's got a really deep group of people working on it. There's the community cartridges, the dev tools, the Puppet scripts for deploying it are up there in the public. There's some quick starts, examples, and the documentation. It's all in GitHub, which is an amazing thing, and it's all public, so you have access to it. So, there are some contributor guidelines. This is an Apache v2 license. Everybody is aware of that, so that's good. It's a meritocracy. So that's the way we're doing this. We're doing this as a very open, transparent kind of thing, and I encourage you all to look at the bugs that are out there, take a peek at that, start with a bug fix. Volunteer to do code reviews. That's always a good way to get in. And one of the ways that we've set up this whole infrastructure is it's a very plug-inable architecture. So the ecosystem is being built out by partners who are building additional cartridges and making them work with Origin and with online. So there's this sort of natural evolution of extensions and ways to add in your partner products. So there's a few partners in the room. The New Relic folks and I are working on some fun stuff. You can always test. Testing is good. Feedback is good. We have a new release that just came out a few days ago. You're going to be playing with it. So that documenting is even better. So if we've got anybody in the room who loves to document, that's really probably the best thing. And the other thing is evangelizing. So go out there, tell your friends, your parents, your relatives and your colleagues about OpenShift and evangelize it, because the community, as we build it and bring more contributions in, just gets better all the time. So I made sure I did this. If you haven't yet, before you leave today, join the Google community. I want to see that number go up by the end of the day. I'll check.
It's OpenShift Origin Developers, right?
There you go. I will look for all of you there. There's a couple of email lists that you should think about signing up. I will post this slide deck and all of the other ones on SlideShare, because I'm a SlideShare kind of girl.
We've also got the podcast that goes out weekly on iTunes as well,
Yes.
which is packed full of OpenShift stuff.
Good. I'll add that into, yeah. So we're getting lots of content, and we're going to record all of today. And then Leslie's in the background, in the back room. Leslie, say hi. Leslie, wave. Leslie and her friends back there are recording this. You can edit this part out. And we're going to try and take all of this content from today and make it available online as well. So take notes, but hopefully we'll get it all recorded. And as I said, IRC is there. There's the forums. And there are lots of blogs, and I just added my own on Tumblr to this list today, but you'll see lots of people writing great stuff. I'll try and tweet it if you follow OpenShift on Twitter or Python DJ on Twitter. We'll just keep tweeting this out. It's a good way to follow and get stuff going. And really, what I'm here today to ask you to do is to get involved. You know, if what you see is tempting enough, interesting enough, you want to use it, write a blog about it, test, documentation, help other users, jump on IRC. There's a lot. We live on IRC. This is a wonderful thing. We even have super secret subgroups too that I found, which are all fun. But submit patches and new feature requests. And anyone, I heard some Czechs in the room. Is there a Norwegian or a Finnish guy? Translating documentation is a good thing too. And really help us discuss. And today is a lot about future directions too. You'll hear us ask you questions about what we want, or what you want to put into the product. So that's really what we're doing, and we are doing that. So welcome everybody to the OpenShift community, because you are looking at it. It's you guys. So thank you very much. I know I'm probably right at my end. I want to just kick this right off. Any questions I should ask? You all know where the little boy's room is? Food in the back, coffee, all good. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to switch and we're going to let Bill come up and do your thing. So does anybody need candy? Come on. There we go. Oh, I'm not good at this throwing. Throw it back. Okay, candy. We're going to keep it caffeinated and sugared up.
Chips.